Hey, welcome back to the JK Moto Entertainment channel. Welcome back once again to Stable B, our favorite place. I keep saying that. I keep saying this is our favorite place. It is definitely one of my favorite places. If you're new to the channel, we do film most of our videos here, so you can go check them all out. Discussion topics, tech tips and tricks, bike rebuilds that we've done, random stuff like that. We talked about going to the track. We talked about dragging knee, or at least we did last week for one of the first times ever. Just kidding. We talk about dragging it all the time, but I gave some insight on that last week. And this week, what we're going to talk about specifically is the beloved crispy, oh so crispy chicken strips that you may find on the outside of your tire. What they are, what they mean, how to get rid of them, should you get rid of them, why it's maybe not such a bad thing to have them. We're going to talk about all of that. So before we get into it, I got to ask that you please click the subscribe click the subscribe button down below and throw a like on the video. If you have any questions about chicken strips, or if you have any comments on chicken strips, where to buy the best chicken strips, how to make them the most crispy, do you fry your own, do you get them pre-frozen, do you make your own batter? Wait, we're talking about tires and chicken strips. It's gonna be a very confusing video. Let's go ahead and get into it. All right, we gotta talk about it. We gotta talk about the chicken strip and just about what it is and everything else. And to do that, eventually I'm gonna sit in front of a tire, and that tire will be somewhere probably on a motorcycle. There's usually a motorcycle behind me, and that motorcycle is still in the garage, but we had to move it for some filming reasons. So it's not there right now, but I do have a tire handy, and we'll do some more close-ups later. But if you look right here on this part right here, you'll see that there is unused rubber on the outside edge of this tire. Same thing on the other side there. Generally for me, I usually have one side that's way worse than the other. And lately, I've been doing better. I've been getting rid of my chicken strips. I ate them all out on the racetrack, and that's what'll happen to you maybe eventually one day. This topic, I think, is relatively important because when you're, man, tires are dirty. I got stuff all over my shirt. But when you're walking down a parking lot, maybe you're working, or maybe you're outside, you don't go into Walmart or something, and you pass by some motorcycles that are sitting in a parking lot. One of the first things, at least one of the first things that I do, I don't know about you as a rider, but one of the first things I do is go look and see how much of that tire they are using. Now, for a motorcycle on the street, that's kind of like almost a little unfair, especially a sport bike, because we're meant to lean at such crazy angles. To use all of that tire would take low-key some unsafe acts. Now, please, if you, in the comments, are one of those guys that is crazy, our canyon carvers of the audience and everyone else that's out on the street like, I don't have any chicken strips left on my tire, please throw that down in the comments. I want to hear about it. I want to hear just about how you're doing that exactly, because I rode on the street alone for a long time and didn't get even within like an inch of the edge of the tire. Maybe I'm just, you know, kind of a safety junkie. Maybe I was just too scared. Maybe I just ride way too slow. I don't know. Maybe I just didn't have good roads next to me. There's a lot of different reasons, but the truth of it is, the more you lean your tire over, the more you're gonna see that chicken strip disappear. So something fun that people do when they go to the racetrack finally is watch that chicken strip disappear off the edge of the tire. Is that actually a good thing? That's what we're gonna get into today, and that's what I'm gonna argue might not be the thing that you're looking for. Now, if you still have edge of your tire available, i.e. you still have some of this quote chicken strip, let's see if we can see it again. It's better on this side. You still have some of that available. You can tell, like, I didn't use that part of my tire. So that's, you know, ½ inch, ¼ inch of rubber that is still available on that tire for use. That means there's that much lean angle, which especially when you get out to the edge of the tire, that's actually, you know, 5, 10, 15, maybe even 20 degrees of lean angle that's going unused on the edge of that tire. So that's a lot. That's huge. And yes, you can absolutely go use that, and you can use that safely. However, there are a lot of people that get out there and they start leaning their tire over, and they're so excited to get rid of this chicken strip and so pumped to, like, look man, I finally got to the edge of my tire, I finally used it, I finally leaned my bike over. That's good. That is very great. I'm proud of you. It's good to be comfortable leaned over that far, but if you're not really putting down like super impressive crazy lap times and you're not running at a good pace, is getting rid of your chicken strip even actually a good thing? So the question that comes is that even a good thing? Do I actually want to get rid of this chicken strip? Do I want to not have it anymore if I'm not running at an impressive, and impressive is the wrong word, but if I'm still running at like at a mid to low kind of C group or beginner or relaxed or whatever your track day org uses for it, if I'm still running at a relatively low pace in that lower speed group, should I be using all of my tire? Now there's a lot of stuff that goes into that. There's the type of bike, there's the size of the tire, there's not only the size of the tire on the bike, like the width, but the size of the tire, like the aspect ratio, the tire profile. There are many different things that go into whether or not you're gonna get rid of this chicken strip and just how fast you're gonna do it. And I bring this up, I think this topic is worth covering because I wanna argue that if you are not up to pace, and pace is hard to say because there are plenty of people out there that are riding relatively slow, and this is all relative. Please, the last thing I want is someone to think that I'm a know-it-all, crazy, super fast guy. I never claim to be a super fast guy. I'm kind of just an average motorcycle rider, much like many of you in the audience. That's why I started this channel, because I felt like that was kind of a missing piece out there on the YouTube area. But if you're still running a relatively slow pace and you already are at the edge of the tire and don't have any chicken strip left, that means you are probably doing something a little wrong. And it is most likely your body position on the bike. Now, if you've done any amount of research in this sport, you're gonna know a lot of the stuff that I'm about to say. And so I apologize for that, but please listen to it anyway. If I mess anything up or if I miss anything, please throw that down in the comments. I live for those comments that correct me or add to what I have to say, because there's no way that I can cover everything. And there are many other people with much more experience than me, and I wanna hear about it so that the audience that does need to hear all this can also go check the comments. But if you get to the racetrack and your only goal is to get rid of your chicken strip and finally get to the edge of your tire, you can 100% do that. And you can do that and still be safe. It's perfectly safe. I'm not trying to say you're unsafe. What I'm trying to say is that maybe we shouldn't measure our success on the racetrack by the size of our chicken strip, but maybe we should measure the success on the racetrack by riding safely and riding faster. And that's really success on a racetrack outside of like having a fun track day. Those are the two things. Did I keep the bike up and did I ride faster? Did I make progress? That's the whole point of being on the racetrack. You actually want to spend less time out there, at least if you're racing. If you're just doing a track day, you're going to get your full 20 minutes. But how much progress can you make? How fast can you go? That's like ultimately the goal. Let's be honest with ourselves. If we're just out here, we're like, yeah, I don't actually care about getting any faster. That's okay too. That's what's awesome about track days. I'm a full fan of that. I 100% agree. If you have a sport bike and you just want some place to open it up a little bit and go have some fun, that's a great place to do it. But most of us fall into the category of, I want to be faster. I don't know if I want to race, but I definitely want to be faster. I want to drag my knee. I want to do all that cool stuff that the guys are doing. I want to slide my back tire coming out of a corner or into a corner. I want to do all that. That involves being faster. And if you're going to get faster and you're also going to hit the other check mark of being safe, you have to have the correct body position. And that body position is actually going to take lean angle off of the bike, right? Once again, you guys have probably heard this before, but we get off the bike so the bike can stand more upright. Now, at a slower C group pace, that is gonna look like chicken strips on your tires, your knee nowhere near the ground. This dude that looks like he's just way off the bike, that if he was out on the road, you'd be making fun of him because he doesn't need to get off the bike that far. That is okay. And I would argue that that is better than someone that comes out and has no body position at all, isn't getting off the bike at all, and deletes their chicken strips in their first track day. That is my argument. That's what I'm trying to make today. That's what we're gonna talk about. And I'm gonna show you some examples of some tires here in a second. We're gonna talk about some tires. Actually, we'll just throw those up on the screen now, but this is what a tire looks like that doesn't have any chicken strips left and has been ridden by a person that had very good body position. I don't have an example of a tire that is ridden by someone that had bad body position and got rid of their chicken strips, but I have seen it before. I've had a couple friends, they're like, look man, and that's awesome. I'm super glad you're using it, you're using the bike, but if you don't have the body position there, that means you're honestly, in my opinion, you're honestly out there building some bad habits. And the last thing you want to do is build bad habits, especially on your first track day. You want to start off perfect right off the bat, get that body position down, because as you add more lean angle on yourself and less lean angle on the bike and open that chicken strip up and make it bigger, what that's actually going to allow you to do is add more speed in that corner. And then to carry more speed through the corner, you're going to need more lean angle, but you just reopen up a new gap. So if you just got done with your first or second track day or maybe something like that, and you're looking at your tires, you're like, hey, this is awesome, I'm using all of my tire. However, I'm still 20, 30 seconds off the A group pace. Take a look at your body position. That is going to be where you're going to find your speed. If you get off the bike and stand the bike back up, that chicken strip will go away. But now you have the ability to speed the bike up in a safe condition, in a safe manner. And the key there is that you'll hear it it's hard to explain. For us motorcycle riders, you 100% get it. You understand the basics, or at least you should. If you don't, there are many other people on YouTube that have gone through all the basics, and I'm not gonna cover all that because I'm not an expert by any means. But we understand the basics of we get off the bike, we reduce the lean angle on the bike, we reduce the risk. It's all about reducing the risk. Kind of, yes, reducing risk is great. However, if you're on a racetrack, I'm about to dig myself a deep hole and I don't want to. Reducing risk is great. Reducing risk allows you to add more risk elsewhere. The goal for a person on a sport bike on a racetrack that wants to get into racing one day, if you're just out there doing track days, you do you, I got it. But if you want to get into racing one day or you want to get faster, the goal is to get to where you are right on the edge. You are riding at 100% risk, 100%. You hit 101, you crash, you're done, it's over. You hit 99, someone's faster than you. You want to be at that 100% risk mark. To do that, you have to open up more risk for yourself to take if you want to go any faster. If you're already riding at the 100% risk mark and you're 30 seconds off the pace, you probably don't have chicken strips on your tires, but you also probably have horrible body position and you're never going to get to that pace without wrecking the bike. So get off the bike, pick the bike back up, reduce the risk, open up the ability for more risk. Does that make sense? Hopefully that makes sense. If you're not getting that, I don't really know how else to explain it. And it's pretty simple. Once again, you get off the bike so the bike can stand up. And then you add more corner speed, more of this action. The bike will lean back down to carry the same trajectory through the corner. Therefore, the lap time comes down, the bike is going faster, and you meet your end goal of being a faster motorcycle rider. That is really all I have to say about chicken strips. This wasn't meant to be a super long video. I didn't want to go and just beat the dead horse on chicken strips, however I can say if you double eggs and double dip them. You know, egg flour fryer. That's all you got to do. Egg flour fryer. Throw your own seasoning in there. Am I getting off? I got back off on actual chicken strips again. I don't know how to make chicken strips, but I do know how to get rid of them on a racetrack. I also know how to keep them on a racetrack and still have a pretty cool looking picture and pretty good body position and not that great of a lap time, because if you have this is such a counterproductive argument. If you have the tire available, use it. That's how you go faster. More lean angle, more speed. More speed and then more lean angle to carry the same trajectory. Carry the race line, slowly add more speed. More speed's gonna be more lean angle. If you're still 30 to 20, 30, 10, 5 seconds off the pace, get off the bike more. Open that risk back up so you can add more speed to take it away there. It's all about the risk management. You have risk from traction, risk from lean angle, risk from braking. I don't remember. I'm not a champ school guy. I'm not a coach guy. I don't know all those different things, but what I can tell you for the final time, this is gonna be it. This is the end of the video. It's coming. If you already got rid of it and you're not at pace, you need to get off the bike more. Fix your body position and reopen up that availability for more lean angle. Don't worry about the chicken strips on your bike. If you're out there and you have giant chicken strips and you're 30 seconds off the pace, that's awesome. You know exactly what you need to do and exactly what you can do. You can lean the bike over more. You're probably already off the bike quite a bit. Great, stay that way, bring the bike down, add speed, you're good to go. But if you're out there 20 to 30 seconds off the pace and you have no gap left on your tire, it's time to look at your body position, get it fixed, and get faster on the racetrack. So that's the answer for the day. Chicken strips are not necessarily a bad thing to have. They just mean you have a little bit more room to go faster. Getting rid of chicken strips should not be your main goal. Your main goal should be correct body position and getting faster on the racetrack. That's the message of the day. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you all in the next video.